So, ma'am, coming on to you now. You are such a successful personality. You are constantly in the public eye. So, how important was it for you to be independent in your life?
Let me start and let me really wish all the wonderful women a very happy International Women's Day. And before I could say that, when you said something like this, let me say that freedom is my birthright. Is being also said by Tilakji.
Yes.
So when we talk about freedom, inevitably, irrespective of gender, we all have the equal right to enjoy our freedom in every which sense.
Very true.
And that's been I've been probably I don't know I've been very blessed in trying to imbibe it right from the inception.
Very nice.
And I've been doing it. And let me tell you, Anukrita, it's basically, did I spell it right?
Anukriti.
Anukriti.
You can
yeah.
call me Anu, short and sweet.
Anu, yeah, I know. You've been sweet.
Thank you so much.
Being a very good orator, and that's
Thank
very
you so
nice.
much, ma'am. Just like, women supporting each other,
Yeah.
complimenting each other, acknowledging each other's efforts. That's what we want more of in the society.
Yeah, I know Satvika. We did a couple of shows, and of
Yes.
course I met this wonderful lady just now, and and of course been meeting so many wonderful women all
And today
through my
I'm so
life.
lucky to be interviewing such sweet, lovely ladies here at the studio. So I'm feeling so comfortable myself.
Yeah, my journey all started to be precise and a nutshell. I'm basically my mom, so single parent, and then we've been seeing, like, I had a brother who's no more, who passed away at a very young, tender age in an accidental death. And me as a child was always being discriminated, not by my mom, but by my family. And it's always been like a girl supposed to be, all
In a
those
certain way.
all those do's and
Yeah.
don'ts, to be followed. Top hail from a very big family.
Yes.
But the discrimination and the prejudice is what I have experienced it all through my childhood, and also all through my teens. And probably that's how I started. It's a huge thought process, because because I've seen how children who hail from broken families, or from a single parent, or especially constantly a parent who's struggling to take care of the children, and how the child is basically, the kind of the trauma the child undergoes. It's something different. But here it is, for me, every bit is a challenge. And let me tell you more precisely before going to the entire part.
Yes.
At the age of 19, I represented India in Australia, whereas to counter terrorism, at the same time exploring humanitarian law, and also about civilian rights. And I was a young participant in 2002, and whereas we had a representation about 37 countries there. And there is moderator had actually, we were going through a lot of different sessions, and there's one session where she wrote in a slip, and she gave it to all of us. And she said, "Who's your hero?" And each one of us had a time to talk about it. And of course, obviously, all the countries, they had their time, and they spoke about their personalities, who influenced them. And when my turn came, the moderator was all as in, like, she was set for a, she was kind of a little silent.
Oh.
And everybody else were like, what did she write? What did Yamuna write in it? And she was like, she took a moment and off and said, what this girl wrote? She said her hero is herself.
And that's it. That is it. Our source of strength should be and must be ourselves.
And I was in teen. I was 19 at the time, and I said, this is because, and she was very curious to know, why is it I have said I am hero for myself. I said, it is me. It is constantly me. The powerful me within
Yes.
me was always in a constant support of, when I'm battling with my thought process and so much of discrimination, and then, a girl supposed to be this, even, right from education to everything. Like
Every
a girl
sphere
being
of life. There is a
discriminated.
stereotype which has been assigned to you.
You are not supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. So I said, I never feared, because for me fear is death. That's
Yes.
what Swami Vivekananda always says.
Absolutely.
Your strength is your character. Your
Yes.
strength is your character, and how you mold your character, how you determine, how you shape up, all matters in defining your personality. Whoever it is, doesn't matter whether it's a woman or a man. How you define yourself,
True.
how you mold yourself, your thought process, how you overcome all your negative emotions.
Yes.
So that's how I said, when in this constant battle, it is me within me, which is always in support of me.
And you are the ultimate source of your own strength.
Exactly, and that's what I said today. Whatever I am, because of it's me. Then I
That's
said I'm the real hero for myself, and because that's what I always tell to all the wonderful women or men. When whoever I come across, I say that, because being also a psychologist, I always say that, remember, in this current context, in this contemporary world, nobody is ready to encourage you. I'm glad I could hear some nice things that there are lucky people who are privileged to
have such a strong support
strong
system
family
at home.
support system, but there are so many of them.
Absolutely.
I
ma'am.
tell you, millions of them who still need a lot of support, who are looking for an emotional support,
Yes.
who are constantly looking for all kind of support.
Oh,
So there are
seriously.
several of them still there in the
Millions and millions, like you said, ma'am. Let's forget about several millions of women out there who and the irony of the situation, the paradox is they get a lot of support from outside the home, but when it comes to the crux of their life, the core of their life, the central part of the universe, the family, that is where they are lacking the support.
But in that case, my mom's like a very strong woman, because what I could see, my mom always been a very independent and a strong woman.
Yes.
And she always said, beta. She used to always like treat me like, there is no gender disparity at all.
No disparity.
She always looked at me as,
Yes.
she doesn't matter whether it's a son or daughter, my
As
daughter.
not less than anybody.
And that's a big strength for me.
Yes.
And the same thing continued even after my marriage.
That's family again. Your family was your mother, and because you had a strong support system in your mother,
And
anything can happen.
I had another wonderful mother in my life. That was my husband.
Wow. So that's where your husband also comes into the picture.
I always say that you are my another mother, where I could see that, because most of the time when we talk about, when you personify, when you glorify, when I always say that a husband should portray the role of a mother.
True.
And that's it.
And he's done that for you.
Yes, absolutely. And lucky enough to have a guy like him in my life.
Ah.
And probably there is a saying, no, for every successful woman also there is a man behind, and definitely I admit.
Absolutely correct.
And there's so many wonderful women, and yes, of course we've been also getting constant support, understanding. And of course, I don't know, there are situations changing now. There are young couples who wanted to understand each other, complement each other.
Yes.
And basically, with that kind of, and also come down, lessen their expectations,
Yes,
and
yes.
play a very good role in
And
complementing
play
each
those roles
other.
in tandem with each other. For example, if the woman is out till late night, then the man is at home. The man might as well do the cooking himself and keep it ready
Absolutely.
for his wife. So like we said, the times are beginning to change. The change has already been initiated.
There are times where I don't have time. He really prepares my food, and he says,
See,
make
look
sure.
at
He said, make sure that, see, because there'll be a balance. God will definitely,
Yes.
it's all about, how you teach them, how you
Yes.
tell them, how you
Absolutely.
communicate to them. But today, in nowadays, we are not able to, there is so much of poor communication. That
Yes.
is one of the major reasons for most of the
Lack
breakups.
of understanding between the couples also.
Couples, parents, children,
any
any
relationship for that matter.
any relationship.
Yes.
So there is a poor level of communication, and on other side we are seeing also there is an augmentation of expectations where we are not able to express it properly.
Yes.
So all these things also matters in ruining the relationships and also the entire family system.
Very
So
true.
that is one thing we need to have that, and moreover have empathy towards each other.
Very
That is one thing which is missing nowadays. Yeah,
You're right,
And
ma'am.
because I tell you what I have experienced in my childhood, because I was always independent in taking my decision.
Yes.
I was very strong in communicating what I want, what to express and what not to express, and what to do. And that's how my life journey started. And I started my career at the age of almost in my teens, in my 17s. I used to go spend my time in orphanages and
Yes.
old age homes, and that's how I started. And I started dabbling myself into various things. I was into a huge study of a lot of spiritual texts.
Wow.
And probably that actually elevated me to know that it built in like lot of curiosity to know
Yes.
about what exactly things are all about.
To understand the different layers of human nature,
Exactly.
and that is why you've handled your
And
relationship
I
so
had
beautifully.
choice. I went against the tide because my aunt was never pro. She was never pro me pursuing what I wanted.
Yeah.
She always discouraged me, and I tell you, this is what I wanted to really tell you, because that nobody will encourage you, and don't expect from people to encourage you.
That is more important.
No, don't expect.
Yeah.
Don't expect, and don't brood or don't be gloomy and then
Yeah,
say that
don't sulk about it.
someone is gonna do something. No, nobody is here to be nice. You have
Very
to
true.
believe that, you believe in yourself, and say that yes, I can, I will. That's it. There ends the matter. Say tu, just that's it.
That's
it.
the cardinal truth which has been spoken out by Yamuna ma'am right here, that yes, nobody is going to become a knight in shining armor for you and
I
come and
think
rescue you. You have to be your own hero or heroine.
Yeah.
And you have to get that source of strength from within
I-
yourself, and the fact of the matter is that nobody will step forward to support
Because-
you, so you might as well stop expecting that support from others.
I always say that,
And search
be
for
an
it from
architect,
within.
because you are an architect of your
Of
life.
your own life.
Nobody will ever design. You have all the liberty and all the freedom. Just grab it.
Absolutely.
Take charge and design how you wanted your life to be, and go ahead.
Absolutely.
And I tell you, so many hiccups in my entire career, where even right from my education, like people, because they wanted me to, like, at the time there was a big trend of going into IT profession. I said I don't have an aptitude for IT.
Yes.
So मैं क्यों करूँ भाई?
Absolutely.
I
Why
was
against
I was
sticking to a
strong.
mold?
I was strong enough. I said no, I don't want to do it.
Absolutely.
And I took my psychology. I pursued my psychology at the same time, and of course, and parallelly, being a student, I used to pursue my education, and probably never in college most of the time, but getting all the gold medals and best student awards. At the same time, I started my career. As I told you, I represented India, and
Yes,
almost
at such a young age.
I'm glad that I represented India in about more than 9 to 10 countries as a speaker on various issues on against terrorism, global peace, and then humanitarian law, youth employment issues, HIV/AIDS and health issues,
So we've
renewable
got-
energy.
yeah. We've got such strong women in the studio today who are serving as such powerful role models in the society. It's just up to us as women to step out and take these women as role models and step up to the situation, become our own source of strength and achieve what we want to achieve. May I also tell you that Yamuna ma'am, apart from being the vice president of the BJP Mahila Morcha, is a psychologist herself, so there's a lot of powerful insight that we have got into human relationships today. And at the end of the day, as ma'am said, it also boils down to support from the family and understanding each other, having empathy